Hey everybody, it's Brittany for Scribbles by Brittany, and right now I am bringing you some more artwork. And let's be honest, I've already this is my third time doing a voiceover already for this video, and it's driving me nuts because I think a lot of it has not so much to do with nerves, but I don't really use a script per se to read off of, and I get bogged down by the details of the not so much the artwork, but trying to come up with the content for you guys to listen to, and trying to figure out things to talk about. And I was just thinking about it. I don't think I ever really talked about how I got started as far as the art. How should I say, how I got started with my art, and it honestly started with my grandma. Um, I s- I've always been left-handed, uh, growing up and stuff, and I was in school, and I remember where they would always try to teach me to use my right hand, and my dad actually stood up and he told them, he's like, no, don't teach her with her right hand, you know, let her use her left hand. And the whole reason why they didn't like trying to teach me with my left hand is because all the teachers were right-handed. So it seemed like they were like everything that I was doing kind of backwards to them instead of mirroring what they're doing, which it's okay. Like, but let a kid be themselves, whether they're left-handed or right-handed, it doesn't matter. I have noticed that a lot of the left-handed people that I've met throughout my life, they are genuinely more creative, is what I found out, and they are channeling, I swear they channel a different side of their brain than a right-handed person would. And I don't know if that's just something that I've kind of picked up on, but it is something that very interesting to kind of dive into when talking about left hand, right hand use. And so I thought that was pretty interesting, and getting into the whole creative aspect of this. I did start out with a lighter colored marker, so you can see that I think I'm using the canary yellow that I have. I could be wrong. I'm pretty sure that's the canary yellow. And then I move out to like a pinkish, like a peachy pink. I'm trying to remember what colors I had used for this piece. Usually I usually I have some kind of reference to remember, but this video was recorded like 3 years ago, and I'm just now getting the audio for it. I do apologize. But without further ado, um I would like to know what got you started into art. Was it someone you seen on the internet? Was it a teacher? Or was it a family member? I do know a lot of family members, like they, a lot of people have family members that they look up to when they see someone being artistic, whether it be a grandparent. I think there was someone I know of, her mom and her grandma were artists, and they had done some absolutely gorgeous paintings, and it was so amazing. And then her mom kind of picked up and then fell off the the painting. um I don't want to call it the painting train, but basically she had stopped painting, which is completely okay. I know my grandma would encourage coloring. I started out with coloring, and trying to color inside the lines and making sure I did that. And then I would always look at my oldest brother. My oldest brother, he can be very he's very both technical in the logical sense, and he's also very creative. I remember him drawing when he was in high school. He had drawn actually a couple of different things, and I think I remember him drawing a race car. I think it was the Dale Earnhardt race car, and I think he had also drawn his race truck. And I'm trying to remember. So my bro, if you remember, like, if you are listening to this or watching this video, um, I'm trying to remember, but it's very, very hard. It had, I think I was like 7 or 8 at the time when I had seen that. I think it was like a colored pencil drawing or something. I don't even know. But it was so good. Like, I thought it was really freaking good. And then here I am, like, trying to draw and, like, try to tap into that creativity. I did do a lot throughout, like, my younger years. Um, I had a lot of fun with art class, and I flourished in my art classes. And then I think when I hit my 6th grade year, was it my 6th grade year? Trying to remember fully. And I don't know if I've even said this while on video. There's so many topics to talk about, but I know in the 6th grade I had drawn for an art contest for it was supposed to be for like a scholarship thing for some schooling at an art museum in Arizona. I remember that. And I remember submitting, I think it was 2 pieces of artwork, and I'm the first one I cannot remember what it was, but the second one was uh I think it was SpongeBob who was blowing a bubble, and then Patrick was sitting on top of the bubble. And I remember submitting that as part of my artwork as well. And I was so tickled pink when I had won the scholarship. And then they had submitted it into like the newsletter that we had gotten. Um, God, if I could remember like all of that information, like it was so fun. Um, I think they had submitted it or something to online to the like school newspaper or something, but I had so much fun, and I think they featured my artwork on it. I can't even begin to remember if where all of that's at. And like I wish I still had that artwork for the life of me, because man, when I drew that, I was just, you know, playing around. Like I didn't think anything of it. And I had other pieces of artwork that I could have submitted too that weren't as good, which I probably should have just kept on to that SpongeBob and Patrick drawing. It was on lined paper because my mom would not let me use her copy paper. I remember that, and it was in colored pencil with my Crayola, just my little Crayola colored pencils, because that's all we could afford. Um, was just regular pencils and Crayola colored pencils and crayons. Oh my god, the amount of crayons that I went through. But I remember, like, I couldn't afford much, but I was so happy to get that scholarship, and my mom drove me, I think it was, like, every like, Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays that I got to go, and it was, like I think it was, like, a 50 was it $50 worth? I think that's what it was, and it wasn't just me in the class, there were actual, like, adults too that were taking the class. So it was kinda nice being able to just kinda sit there and be, like, a kid that kinda got a scholarship to this class, and didn't think anything of it. I just thought it was gonna be fun. And so you got to learn kind of the basics a little bit more than what they teach you in like a regular art class, and how to fix mistakes and how to um, kind of change the trajectory of like how your artwork looks. And I had I had so much fun. I had so much fun doing that, and it was just directed towards drawing. I think that was the one thing that I did like the most, is that it wasn't different types of artwork. It was directed towards like your painting, your drawing, your sketching, um, your and like just different techniques and learning about textures and stuff. And that was it definitely helped make me into a little bit better artist as a kid. And then as I grew older, I didn't fall off of it, but schooling definitely had taken a, how should I say, a bigger part of my life, because there was a lot of stuff that I wanted to do while in high school that um I I probably could have just kept doing some artwork uh in general. Like I really did not have to put that on the back burner. And I think if I did not have taken that step and put it on the back burner, I think it would have been a lot better for me. I do remember comparing my artwork to other people, and let me say this ahead of time: comparison is the thief of joy. So if you want to be happy with your artwork, stop comparing it to other people. You will eventually get there. And I say this now because I was that person that was always envious of how other people's artwork compared to mine. And you know what's crazy is that there's other people that are envious of your artwork. So please remember that. If you are an artist that is learning and doing the right stuff, keep doing it. Keep going. Keep improving. The only way to go is up. That's all I gotta say. So if you take anything from this video, it is that right there. And if you ever take anything from another artist, don't be envious of them. Try to understand what they're doing and try to apply it to what you're currently doing. I know that sounds a little backwards. Um, I know a lot of the artists that I watch on YouTube and stuff, I am trying to take techniques and stuff that they have, and I'm trying to apply it to what I'm doing. I know Bailey J, she had done the tip to tip method with the Copics and other markers and stuff, and I use that technique a lot. I don't know if you'll ever actually see it in this video or if you've seen it in my other videos. I definitely do that a lot, and don't give up. Keep working at it. But to say this, when I got into high school in my sophomore year, was it my sophomore year? I think it was my sophomore year. Yes, it was definitely my sophomore year. I had a art teacher that, don't get me wrong, I didn't like him. I just didn't like him teaching the class. Um, in my honest opinion, I felt like he was there to earn a paycheck, and that was it. He was there to clock in his hours and get out. And when you have people who are passionate about something, and this goes for employers too, so just in case, like, you know, other employers are listening, if you have somebody who is passionate about the work that they do and is proud of the work that they do, don't shit on them. Sorry, I got a little angry there. But please don't shit on them. Um, and so I had an art teacher who He was there just to earn a paycheck. He would go up to the board and do instruction for about 15 minutes, and then he'd be like, "Here you go, now do this." And then he would walk around the room like maybe twice in the 90-minute class that we had. And what was frustrating about that is that it didn't seem like it was beneficial at all. Um, he never like, so the art teachers that I had in comparison to him, if you were struggling with something in particular, so if you couldn't get a shape right, or you couldn't get a texture right, or you're trying to achieve a certain effect, those teachers would sit down and they would be like, "Here, what would it look like if you did it this way?" Or they would give you a new perspective on that, but it was never he was never helpful like that, and that's what very much frustrated me. I got really, really frustrated because I know that there was, like, I remember doing a group, it was, like, kind of a group project. We each had to bring something in, and we all decided on a theme of the item that we brought in, so we had done a casino theme. And so somebody had brought in a velvet, like, tablecloth, and then somebody brought in poker chips, someone brought in cards, somebody brought in, beads, like, beads and then feathers, and we made it very Vegas or casino themed, and it was a really fun project. We had a lot of texture in the velvet tablecloth, the feathers, the poker chips, all of that. And we had to do it in black, like a grayscale or basically graphite. And it got to the point where I think I was doing, or one of us was doing the velvet tablecloth, and we were trying to achieve the lighting. The lighting on velvet is similar to satin in my opinion, but it was like I don't think it's as smooth gradient as satin would be. And we weren't allowed to take a picture. We had to do this based off of the way we seen it. And so we were trying to ask the teacher how he would approach doing the velvet on the velvet tablecloth in grayscale, and he would just kind of look at us and he'd just kind of give us a look like, how do you not know how to do that? And it was so frustrating because me and these, I think it was 3 or 4 of us, me and these 3 other people, we were just like, how are we going to get a decent grade on this art project if we don't have somebody who is willing to understand what we're doing or how we're going about this? And so, like I said, when you are starting out as an artist or picking up a pencil for the first time, don't get don't get discouraged by competing with others. It's not a competition. And I am one to say that because sometimes I don't take my own advice, and I probably should, but I definitely I definitely get frustrated when I see other people's artwork and I'm like, "Oh, I wish I could do that," or "That looks like fun." And then when I go to try and do it, it does not look the way that I want it to, which is completely okay. You could always start over and try again. I have at least, I think I have like one piece of artwork that I have done 4 different times. When I say I done it 4 different times, it started out as one, then it started out as a second, and then it started out as a third. And the third one, I was getting somewhere to the point where I really liked it. And then I had done it for the 4th time and I loved it. So you can always change up the artwork and you could always change up the way that you're doing stuff. But what I want to say is don't give up. So it's it is definitely I had definitely after high school, I had kind of had I had a break for a while, and I was actually going to school and just I was going to college, and then I went into the military. And so after that, I kind of picked it up when I was actually in the military. I got bored. Well, I can't say that I got bored, but one day I was sitting in the laundry room in the barracks, and I had I was bored waiting on my laundry to get done, and I started doodling in my composition book that I used for the PowerPoint, the Death by PowerPoint. I was using that, and like I was just sketching in that. And again, it's lined paper. I didn't know what I was doing. I think I still have the sketches somewhere around here. And I probably should have one of those days where I go back and I look at all the artwork that I'd done in the past. And I kind of picked it back up then. And then I had done some here and there. And then back in 2015, 16, I think, I really picked up on it. And I started watching art YouTube or like YouTubers, like the art YouTubers, and I really picked up on the stuff like on the art then, and that was really empowering for me. Like to see other people making art videos to me was absolutely empowering, and I had so much fun listening and watching people make art that I figured I can do that too, and here I am. I am like it's been years since I started, and I just wanted to share some of the artwork with you guys. And speaking of artwork, in this I am actually using a brown pencil, um a brown colored pencil to kind of give some solid lines or line work on, although I don't know if you can really tell with the camera. What I wanted to do is kind of have that uh, flowery feel to the compass and arrow design, and that's I was trying to achieve kind of a softer look to it. It definitely shows in the video that I have a little bit softer look, and I have not posted the actual uh picture of it. Eventually I will, eventually. But I definitely had a lot of fun with this artwork, and I think that was where my journey started back up again, was in like 2016, and then since then I've just been working on artwork here and there, and I've been mostly posting it on Instagram, and here recently I've been recording it and posting it for you guys on YouTube. So, thank you for sticking around and listening to me go on about my art career and what I've been doing and stuff. I thank you, and like, follow, and subscribe at the very end of the video.